Welcome to Rapportkommentarer Direkt. In the studio I have the CEO of ASTG. His name is Carsten Drachmann. Welcome.
Thank you, Martin.
Let's start with the numbers because that's what we usually do. The revenue, it amounted to 13.1 million and the EBITDA amounted to 0.5 million SEK. Are you excited about these numbers? Is it in line with your expectations for the quarter?
Yes, I'm very excited about reporting another positive EBITDA in a quarter, which makes it the second in a row. Mm-hmm. We have established a good delivery flow to our customer, which has also yielded our 13.1 million SEK in revenue, which is actually the highest revenue we had in a quarter so far in the history of the company. So that's really good. And I think it also shows that we started a positive trend from the second quarter 2019 and it continues. So that's really good. So yes, it's in line with my expectations and the goals that we set for ourselves. And I think it's a testament to a significant turnaround that we're starting in ASTG.
Let's dig down in the quarter. Q4 2019. What were the most significant events, do you think?
Well, outside of obviously generating another positive EBITDA, which is really good, we launched a new strategy publicly. The company hasn't actually had a proper strategy before. And we also launched a new website, new branding, but two specific events. One is a major agreement with an important agreement with a major defense contractor for our AIMS business, the IMU. Yeah. This is significant. For the company, it will generate, it's a game changer really, it will generate significant revenues going forward when we start delivering. Mm-hmm. And even more important, it's also going to give us a very strong reference for selling to other customers as well.
Oh, so it's easier to land new business based on this one?
Yeah, exactly. Our customers will always say, hey, it looks nice, but did anybody else buy it? And we say, yep, these guys bought it, and then they will like it. And that's how you do it. The other part I wanted to highlight is our rights issue in December. It was subscribed 198%. Mm-hmm. That is really good. So we had a great interest, an amazing interest from our existing shareholders and also from new investors. And I take that as a testament to people and the market has understood that we've turned around the company, we put it on a completely different track towards success. Mm-hmm. And last I want to say, as part of that, there are actually quite a number of employees in ASTG that bought into the company.
That's
another
usually
testament.
A good sign.
It's a very good sign, yeah.
An even better sign is if the CEO buys shares.
If I bought in as well, and I did, absolutely. I bought in for a good deal of shares, and I hope to get a chance to buy more also in the future.
Let's talk about that as well. Not the exact buying shares part, but you becoming CEO, because that's quite new. And you mentioned here in the beginning that you did a turnaround from halfway through 2019, basically. Yeah. And that's when you assumed the reins of CEO in June 2019, I think.
Yeah.
Since this is the first time I'm interviewing you, mm-hmm. I want to have some background, something to base it on. What kind of a man are you? Are you a tech guy, or where is your background?
Yeah. First of all, I joined on June 14, which was my birthday, so that was always a good day to start a new job and a new adventure. I'm an engineer. I'm Danish, by the way, if you haven't noticed from my accent.
I did.
Jag pratar också svenska, men vi
fortsätter
på engelska. But I'm an engineer by education. But I would say my trade is really leadership and business of high-tech companies. This is what I do. I grew up in Nokia. I had 20 fantastic years in Nokia where I learned leadership, business management. The past 8 years I've had various CEO and executive positions with 4 years in satellite communication before joining. Mm. As a person, I would say I'm not lazy. I work fast. I do not mind a challenge at all, and I never give up. Mm. And I'm having a lot of fun being CEO for ASTG. It gives me a chance to work with very well-educated, very intelligent people. Gives me a chance to work with cool, sophisticated technology and help everybody build a bigger company for the benefit of employees and, of course, our investors who are expecting to get a return on their money eventually.
Of course, you mentioned that you were not lazy, so I want to ask you, what was your first order of business?
Well, I'm a strong believer that there's never such thing as one thing to do. So I always take a holistic view to how to create success. If you only focus on the immediate needs and low-hanging fruits, you will never be able to propel your business into a successful strategy. And if you only focus on what you will be doing in 5 to 10 years from now, don't bother because you're not going to get there anyway.
So you need the balance.
You need the balance. It's very philosophical, but this is how I strongly believe in it. And to point out a couple of points that I did start with, obviously the financials, where were we when I started, what's a 3 and 6 months outlook. It helped us make some of the financing decisions we made in 2019. I looked at, are we able to deliver on our contracts? Do we have the right resources, the right people? Do we have working capital? We need to buy material from suppliers so we can deliver. Important. I looked a bit deeper into the technology and solutions. I needed to understand that this was in good shape. And it was, as I expected. We have more work to do, but it's a very strong foundation. And lastly, you need to understand, this is more the holistic long-term view, is there a market for the products and solutions that we have? So based on that analysis, I created a strategy we launched publicly in November. And I can confirm, yes, there are markets for both our business units as we have them today. And I have a very strong vision and strategy as to how we're going to get there.
You mentioned that you had a look at the technology. You wanted to grasp exactly what were in your portfolio and how you could use it. I wanted to link this to your letter of intent that you signed with a Swedish company, ReQuTech. What kind of technology are you buying?
This is very exciting, and it's really in the sweet spot of our strategy evolution that I have outlined. We're buying what's called a satellite communications on the move for land. Basically what it is, it's a satellite antenna that can go on top of a truck, a bus, a train, a military vehicle, and you will be able to keep your communication while you are moving. You also have movements on the car like you have on the ocean, so similar technology.
So that kind of technology you already have, the maritime.
We have, and there are good. Well, we have it for maritime, and there are good synergies between the solution, for example, in the software and the algorithms for stabilization. The product is also focused on a commercial market, which we are not addressing today. So it's opening up a new market. It's giving us a new product and solution we can sell. There are synergies in software, and we'll also see synergies on sales and supply chain, which are really important for us.
I didn't mention the number of the deal. I just said a letter of intent, but it's worth 8 million SEK, I saw in the press release. When can we expect more information of when it's done?
So we are working with ReQuTech right now to finalize the deal, and we have agreed that by the end of March we should be ready. And I want to say I'm really happy working with ReQuTech. There's some great guys and engineers there that we are enjoying working with.
I've enjoyed working with you in this interview, Carsten, but I wanted to ask you one last question before I leave you, and that is, we're going to meet again, have an interview after the Q1 in 1 quarter. What do you think we will talk about then?
Very good question. First of all, I think the market and the shareholders have maybe noticed that I'm not lazy, so we're doing a lot of things at the same time. Maybe I answer better by outlining what we are executing on right now. So first we talked about the ReQuTech deal. We have a strategy and 2 strategic objectives, one saying scale and diversify, and the other one saying accelerate. The deal with ReQuTech is exactly about that. So we'll continue to execute on that. We have announced recently that we're stepping up our game on the sales and go-to-market front. We're hiring a new sales executive to help us lead the way into the market, so we will have a lot more focus on that. We're starting working with our major defense contractor on the IMU business. That is certainly something I expect to be evolving, so we can talk more about that later. And then look at our positive financial trends. We have a backlog of 29 million SEK. Which is good for this company, and we have a steady flow to our customers. So I think summing all of that up will show we're busy and gives you a good hint about what we should talk about next time.
Sure, I'm looking forward to reading your press releases as well. Thank you so much, Carsten.
Thank you. Thank you, Martin.